You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry. You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate.
I have no idea why that started over. It's supposed to be automatic. Only play once. I'll have to see if there's some sort of setting. All right. So, another day, another PSYOP continues. I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not crazy. I'm an investigator. But something struck me as strange when I called the VA the last time, and they said there's nothing they could do. I got in rather quick on a Monday. Maybe they're doing a great job. I don't know. But the second operator sounded very similar to the first operator. In fact, they sounded exactly alike. The question is, who was I speaking to? Not paranoid, investigating a corrupt process. It's been proven corrupt. It is corrupt. It's never been actually handled as being purposefully corrupt. They were given an out. Oh, maybe they just can't do it right. Whoops. So again, we need to look in to see how long it takes on a Monday for the average caller to go in, to get in, because it was about, just a couple minutes, I think. And she, absolutely, not obviously, absolutely, sounded very similar to the first operator. Like I said in the past, I've had the realization that I wasn't speaking to an average employee. They want to be the IG or something. They might be like, an investigator. They want to be the IG and be that big deep state lifestyle. Like, I know how they do it. They call him, well, you think this guy's a fraudster. You have to investigate it. And then they do their hocus pocus, refocus, and hanky panky, mananky. Another day, another PSYOP. Nothing but money to them. Nothing but a retirement job in Silicon Valley or the Visa credit card or the Bank of America bank. Nothing but a thing to them. There's money. They won't be offering any of those jobs to banks because he's a nobody. They won't be offering any of those banks to jobs to, or banks to Bavino, right? Those jobs to Bavino. He's a nobody. Now you know why nothing gets done, and they seem to just keep getting richer. Whoever launched that attack knew that CIA was moving into Cuba yesterday. As a side note, and I'll be posting on this, let's change the title here for a second. Actually, no. House poor. What is it? We had a repeat of what went on in 2007 and 8 and 6, when they're giving them crazy loans, but the lender isn't responsible. At least I don't believe they are. So COVID hits. All of a sudden, 98% of some of these people, maybe 90, let's say 95%. So before what's the average? Let's find out the average expendable income. Probably a low figure. In 2020, what was the average expendable income? What percentage? In 2023, what was the percentage of income that was expendable? It's not giving me. It could be somebody. No, that's not paranoid. This is what the deep state does to their victims. You have to go to, then probably have to go to Mr. Brock. All right, Mr. Brock. What was the average amount of discretionary spending income in 2020? Percentages. I got to rephrase that. Put that into percentage of income. Okay, so now do the same thing for 2024. I'm going to give you 2 points here if I can. Just well, okay, so 2024. So it looks like pre-tax 32%. So income did, but okay, the 2020 figure is actually false. Because if you don't pay your rent, then you amass a fortune of discretionary spending money. So at a certain point, they were bored of just buying Amazon all day. And they started saving the money. And they were able to do something they never could do before, and maybe probably shouldn't have done because they weren't experienced at what they were getting into, had no forethought. We know that this is the funny part. Americans can't afford to buy homes, which is true. But why is that? What is the basic reason? Now, I believe some people are manipulating the market, purchasing large blocks of homes, even keeping them vacant to increase the price. If I have 10 homes, another person has 10 homes, another person has 10 in a certain community, we can plot to only sell one home every 6 months or every year even, and raise the price in that neighborhood. So I think we have some of that going on. But also, because so many people saved, before, if you were a veteran, you were lucky because you didn't have to put anything down. Everybody else has to save the down payment generally. So they had to save the down payment. And if I don't pay rent for a year, I might have my down payment. And it's not on my credit report that I didn't pay my rent. But I paid my rent. So now I have pretty good credit because I don't have any money troubles because I have all this discretionary income. Great credit. Getting a sweetheart loan. So everybody runs out with that extra money. And again, some people just save because they were indoors. They can go out, got what do they call that? The stimulus check, a couple of those. And the reason the prices went up initially is everybody bought a home. So it's not that Americans didn't buy homes, and it's not that Americans couldn't afford homes, but the fact that Americans could afford homes drove the price up because there were no homes to buy left. Now we have other issues, people getting PPP loans and buying homes. Not everybody was caught. And even those that, if you don't have to drive to work, if you don't have to go to work and you get paid, sit at home, you can save a lot of money. You weren't going out. So again, there's legitimate and illegitimate reasons that the prices of the homes went up. So what's happening now? It's still happening. It's a correction because they overextended themselves. Right? And their homes aren't worth, a lot of them, what they bought them for. And so you can't really refinance. There's no reason to buy a house while interest rates are high and prices are high. There's none. Because what they're going to do is they're going to try to put it on Trump. And they just started that. If you bought, again, I credit the evil Elon Musk with speaking the truth. He didn't say much after a certain point, but he said it doesn't make sense. Why are you buying a house when the price is high? And I said it probably even before him. But he's one of the few people that said, what are you doing? And they may have attacked him, and he may not even know that he was attacked, not to speak about it. May have triggered him and he didn't realize it because he's busy doing something else. So there was no reason to buy homes at elevated prices and high interest rates. You just can't make way with it generally. Unless you got a good job, great income, and it's never going to go away. Some people have a life like that. Right. But the average person, you have to be careful because what you're doing when you're purchasing a home at a high price with a high interest rate, it becomes very difficult to refinance if you run into trouble. Especially if the prices drop, because then you don't have any equity. So again, I don't get it. Because you're supposed to intelligently buy a house. Not, is it going to hit my credit in a year? I got to buy a house in a hurry. So although I agree with some of the things we need to do in the country to fix housing, I don't agree that people are being foreclosed. I mean, some are obviously, but I'm not agreeing that people are being foreclosed for legitimate reasons. or illegitimate reasons. So a correction's going on, and eventually the prices of the homes should drop further. But because we have these people that buy up blocks of homes, and they're going to say Blackstone. Well, there's individual purchasers also. And I don't know if Blackstone's doing that. I mean, they may have enough money where they don't really care, to illegally manipulate the price of housing. I don't know. Again, it's a big corporation. I wouldn't do it, but maybe they would. I don't know. Well, because they have more to lose than the average person if they get caught manipulating prices. And again, if they put the price of the house, they're stuck with the house. If they put it up too high. Right. There's a happy medium. Well, as far forward of gaining a stock of housing, it wouldn't make sense that they would be manipulating prices. They might be, but because again, at a certain point, it works against you, raising the price of a house, because you're not going to be moving your houses. And I don't know, maybe they're into, because again, if you have a stock of houses and you're a big corporation, it would be prudent for you to be in the mortgage business and all the other businesses. So they actually, through the fees, they could actually, if they get the person to use their people. You can build and again, it's the CVS model, to tell you the truth. I don't know if they're doing this, but if they use the CVS model and can pass on the savings to the consumer, the house purchaser, then it's CVS is actually capitalistic communism. I wouldn't say communism because it's kind of like harsh, but socialism. Well, because they do pass on the savings to the consumer. So again, it's this idea that, they have all this and they're cornering the market, but it's actually socialism with capitalism, and it works. They're not trying to be, they're wealthy and they get wealthy and they do make money, but they're not trying to be any greedier than they need to be. Again, if you join their extra care club, you get like a 20%, because their products are expensive, but you get a discount. I think it's 20%. It may not be. I don't remember what the discount. You get a discount on their items, so it brings their prices down. Right. Well, actually, their stuff isn't as expensive, but if you buy in a 24-hour pharmacy or a pharmacy, it's not as cheap generally as Walmart. You can find sales that make it cheaper. You pay $5, and I think you get $10 off stuff. Now, I thought it accumulated. It doesn't accumulate. So you have to stop in CVS every day or once a month and get something. I used to do orders, so it made sense, but it still makes sense. I'm not dinging them because I can't get over there, and it's not that far from here. I just got to remember to stop at CVS. Which, if I think about it and I want to do it and I can't do it, then that might work against them metaphysically as being blocking people from taking advantage of their care club. But again, people stalk me corruptly, and some of them are law enforcement, some are PIs, and they all are corrupt generally, unless it's just somebody new and they go, this is bullshit, and they get away from it. So what they'll do is they'll will it down too. They get mad. He's saving his money. Yeah. That's the way they are, man. They're narcissists. So again, when it comes to housing and the foreclosures, because they're trying to build an argument. The media is building an argument for communism. And why is that? Because they want to be the communists. They want to be the ones that says we don't get arrested for nothing. You get nervous. The truth is being discovered by people that would prosecute crimes. So the housing is just really still a correction. But the problem is, I think because we have people, and again, everyday people that can own 10 houses, that they're flipping homes and stuff. The home flippers, I think, started manipulating the price a little bit. I think that's still true. But a home flipper isn't necessarily Blackstone unless Blackstone's part of it. But again, with the size of, I believe the size that they would have as far as their portion of the housing market, it would just be, it'd be better to do like a CVS thing, like just, hey, you can use our lender, you can use our this, you can use our that, and then give everybody a good deal, and that, then they come to you. See, again, so CVS is giving people a better deal than others, so they get people in. I mean, free delivery, Jesus. If you're older or you have a disability and you don't get out every day, and sometimes you just don't feel like going out, they deliver for free. Well, you got to pay. It's $5 a month. I was messed up because I don't think I had the CVS Care at that point, did I? I think I started it. But I had the COVID and it snowed real bad. So they couldn't make the deliveries. Nobody could. All right, so I never got that super medicine. But the problem is there was something else going on alongside COVID. So I thought it was just attributed to the COVID. But I got rid of the COVID pretty darn quick. It's only about a few days, probably of real bad stuff. So again, they're discretionary. So discretionary income back when they bought the home was much higher. Because they didn't have to pay their rent. And the other thing is you can't refinance if you have bad credit. And if you didn't pay your rent and you don't have the money to pay that person, you're going to have a judgment, and then that's going to affect your credit report. So again, they went in house poor, and they may have overextended themselves. Like, this is my opportunity. If I don't do it, the next thing you know, this is going to be on my credit report. Right. So I'm going to buy as much as I can because I'm not going to be able to buy another home for a while. Right. So I think we're still experiencing that. Right. As far as inflation, I see a little deflation. If I shop around, I find deflation, which, prices went up, so sometimes they come down. Again, we may even see that in the housing market. Rinse a pan out here a little bit before I use it. Yeah, I bought a bathtub, a vinyl bathtub kind of portable thing. It was way shorter than they said. I hate when they do that. Well, because you get more, like the Chinese people know that and those that deal in that area, if you say it's 5 inches longer than everyone else's, they're going to buy yours. Now, at a certain point, if people start returning it, it just was at about the minimum length that it would be usable to me. So just 40. It was supposedly 47, and in one spot it said 48. So in my mind, 48 was the outside diameter, and 47 was the inside, or not diameter, length, and it wasn't. It was like 42. Only it doesn't seem like much, but when you're at the minimum usable length. So I had to buy 2 of this other one, which the price was great. When I bought it last time, it was around $100. Now on Amazon, it's, I think, about $65. Better price. I bought it last time probably, 3 years ago or something. The other one is, if I buy from Walmart, it's $35. So something I paid $100 for a few years ago is now $35 or $36. So I can buy 2 less than the price that I paid for 1. If I'm not mistaken, let me go to Amazon. Make sure I know what price I'm talking about. I know it's expensive. It's not. I might be overpricing it. Walmart had a great deal on it. Okay, here it is. If I can see the details. Okay, I'm over a little bit. So it's 76. So I'm getting 2 for the price of 1. Which is funny because when I purchased that, it broke and it has a warranty, and they sent me a second one, no questions asked. So, which is weird, but so that thing is half price. When did I buy it? Let's take a look at the date. 2023, September. So, again, some items will inflate. We could be being gouged in the food arena because that's where they speak about. In other words, if a Democrat donor is going to pay money, like multimillionaire, billionaire, for price gouging, they're going to put it in the food category and gasoline category. Don't you find that strange? The only categories that are inflating are those main categories where they measure inflation. And like I said, I don't think the business people are owed any type of tariff. I think the American citizens are. The business people already charged us the higher prices. Now, they may be extending that back to the people by lowering the prices. I don't know. Just depends how ethical they are. I don't know if I actually. I don't know if I received an email thanking me for the Fed, because the federal messaging may not have went through. I'll have to take a look at that. Should be an email saying thank you for your submission. And look, I should have looked at it. No, they play hanky panky like that. They can do anything in your email. Donald Trump was the most intelligent person when it came to the internet during his first administration. Besides me, he's the only one that I know says this. He said, the only way for your message to be safe, your email to be safe, is for you to write it down on a piece of paper and hand carry it to the person. Right. Well, that's how deep state operates. They give you a false sense of security. And then you extend yourself, and then they're reading your emails all day. And they go, well, if you're honest, you wouldn't care. Bullshit, you're not honest. See how they turn that around? That's a psyop. So a lot of people were house poor, not based upon that purchase date, but they are now. Well, the banks look at your credit report. They weren't allowed to put anything on your credit report, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. So your credit looked great because you had a bunch of disposable income that wasn't really disposable. Yeah, owed for the housing. There are several factors that made the people house poor. The fact that they couldn't refinance. Prices were maxed out. Interest rates were up. You're counting on income that wasn't really disposable. And there was inflation since then. And again, when I'm speaking about the VA, I'm not speaking about not receiving something. I'm speaking about not receiving as far as money, whatever. I told you, I don't even know if they could give me any more money. Based upon that, I could still walk. But regardless, I wasn't given a fair shake. And it does look like it's deep state corruption at first blush. Again, I tell you, I can only call it from this point forward. Again, because the deep state has been in my life for 30-something years, ruining it, and then say, he can't get anywhere. A little bit of allergy there. That's their scam. Meanwhile, other people get paid to be criminals, quite frankly. Well, the reason something projected, the reason I possibly received this disability increase is simply because I couldn't even, something was blocking me from call. I thought I wasn't going to get anything because I couldn't call my lawyer. I couldn't get to you can't get to it. Again, there's multimillionaires, billionaires, even directors of agencies that are part of this thing. So it's a metaphysic. They'll always tell you, well, that person's just crazy. But again, if they remove themselves, then the person's life is fine. That's what the deep state's supposed to do. It's designed to take you down and then bring you back up where and when they want you to, or where and when they want you to be, I guess. It wasn't designed to destroy someone just for the shits and giggles. And that's who they are. They're narcissists and sociopaths. We know they're in government. Again, every study will tell you they're in government. They're in the church, they're in the government, they're in religions. Any place they can be an asshole, they'll be there. The criminal asshole at that. They're not even they're not even a thief, a criminal with honor, honor among thieves. They don't even have that. So again, a lot going on there. Again, and that's the PSYOP. Do you understand that? There's already damage. Now, after 30 years of damage, that's a quick damage. Because their victim is so far down. So the psychological effect has already taken place. Quite possibly the VA might have some issue here going forward. All it would have needed to be is a normal process. Oh, okay, you were a disabled veteran that had a disability. Here's your appointment like we said we were going to give you. Or we're not going to give you an appointment. Well, I need to talk to somebody. I don't want to talk to somebody all week before they closed out the case. Right. Oh, they're just vindictive pieces of shit, man. They don't care even about their own life. They don't. They just money, money, money. Power, power, power. That's their mind. They call anti-power power. And all they had to do was schedule the appointment, because they'll put it on me. Oh, you missed the appointment. Yeah, you told me the appointment was scheduled. So once it gets closed out, once they say no, there's nothing you can do. Well, you can appeal it, but that may take a year or two. Again, they've done it to thousands and thousands of veterans, some committing suicide based upon what was done to them on purpose for criminal gain. for narcissistic joy, not because, oops, the VA just can't handle it. Because the VA was a piece of shit and wanted to murder somebody so they could all run off and have an orgy in the Virgin Islands. Say, ain't this grand? We're like Elon. God will handle it. Believe you me. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.